What up, and welcome. I'm Matthew Singati, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel, Corel Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the school management system user interface design. So let's get into it. I have designed this interface using Corel Draw. So this is not HTML, but just plain user interface design. So this is my first screen and it's a login screen. This is where the student and the lecturers will use to log in. And then this is screen number 2. This is the application screen where the student will use to apply. As you can see, it's very minimal and very simple. Username, name, the surname, ID, the average percentage, how much score did you get from high school, because now this is varsity as we claimed, and then you choose the course that you want to do and then you click apply. The design of this system, I have tried to make it modern. I was trying to move away from the traditional school management system that are somewhat outdated or they don't look fresh. So that's what I was trying to achieve in this user interface design. So this is the admin panel for the student. Here I want to have the name of the course and the year. Are you a first year or you are second year? And this is going to be my logout, and then this is going to be the picture of a student, and also this is going to be the name and the student number. In terms of the picture here, I will see if I will implement that feature, because according to the requirements that feature is not necessary, so it's an optional or an add-on. I might do it or I might not do it, because I want to keep the course short and straight to the point so that you can learn something from it. And then this is my menu. So there will be the student section where it shows you all the result, and also sorry for that, okay, where it shows you all the result, and also you can download a PDF version of your result. And then we will have the contacts. Then the contacts, it's like all the contacts for all the important people, like your lecturers, your HOD, relating to your course. So this will be their lecturer's name, the module, the contact number, and the email address. Then going forward, we've got a timetable. This is just a table with all your modules and when do they start and when do they end, and also the venue. In most cases, the rooms have got some code, maybe R54. Obviously the student know where R54 is, so this is the venue and this is the lecture. So this tick here signifies that the lecture is active, meaning that you can still go to this room and attend this lecture. But if it's like this, a circle with the X, then it means that it has been cancelled. So basically that's the timetable. Also, please note that in terms of the terminology, it might change. And also this interface, it's from a graphic design software. So when I'm coding it, I might make some changes. So the actual HTML version of this layout will be, let's say, 99% of what is here, because in production time, obviously there are some things that I have to do. I might change a thing or two. So going down, we've got notification. Here on notification, it's like obviously the lecture might want to notify student about whatever. Maybe the course has been, the lecture has been cancelled, maybe the venue has changed. So this is where the students will be notified. Obviously there will be a date, as so that you can know that, okay, these notifications are for this date. And then now, as you might notice, that this panel is blue now on this left section. It's no longer gray as it was. So this one, it's in the dashboard or the admin panel for the lecturers. So when the lecturers log in, the difference between that interface and this one is going to be blue, so that when the lecture logs in, this can be blue. So the lecture, this is my menu here. So we've got marks. So here This is just a table for inserting the marks of the students according to different courses. Let's say this course, it's this module, it's systems. Obviously the overall course here, it's information technology, so this module is systems. So this is a list of all the learners that are doing systems. Maybe it's going to be systems 1 or in year 1, systems 2 or advanced systems on year 3, and so forth. So this is systems, and then these are all the students. So the lecturer can come here and click, and then sorry for that, the lecturer can come here and click, and then they can update the marks for this student in this module. And then here, this is going to be a drop down list for all the modules that are taught by that lecture. So if you don't teach a certain module, then it's not going to be there. And then going forward, we've got applications, as you have seen on that screen, on the previous screen, that the student will apply to the school. And then this section, obviously in real life, the lecturers don't some sort of accept students application. A certain department deals with that. I believe it's registration, so they deal with that. But here, just for the sake of making it a real life, we're going to pretend that a lecturer does accept or does take that role of accepting students who are applying. So here there will be the name of the student, the surname. This is supposed to be not a number, the surname, and the application number, and also the marks from the high school to see if you are qualifying or you're not qualifying. And then this is a drop down list for the lecturer to accept your application or decline it if you don't qualify. So going forward, we've got notification. So the lecturer here can click in the drop down. The lecturer here can click in the drop down list to notify a certain group of students or students according to the module. So he can come and click here the module, and then from then he might make a notification that will show to all students that are taking that module. So this is just the notification title and the details of the notification. And then here we've got the lecture. So meaning that in case, let's say the lecturer is not going to attend a systems lecture that will be on a certain room, then he can change it here. You can come here and say, okay, click systems, and then you can come here and change the status from active maybe to deactivated or not active or absent. And then from there also here you can add a new lecture. Let's say you will click here and find out that he's going to teach information systems. Then you will click information systems here, and obviously here there will be some lecturers for him for the particular date, because he's going to click the date here. If there is nothing, then he's just going to click here on this plus, and then you can some sort of insert a new lecturer. As you can see that this screen is not that detailed as it's supposed to be. So meaning that here he's supposed to fill in all the information, like the module, the time in of the lecture, and the end time of the lecture, and also what else, the venue. As you can see that here I've missed the venue. So those are the things that I'm going to improve on and make sure that when I'm coding, they are there in the HTML user interface. Obviously on the previous video I said I'm gonna start with mapping out all my classes and how they're gonna communicate with each other, but I was sitting at home and I was like, okay, let me work on the interface so that the interface can give me an idea of the scope of the functionality of the application, so that I cannot create a lot of objects. Like I wanted the user interface to guide me, but ideally I wanted to first plan the whole system, but I changed my mind. I wanted the user interface to guide me, and also I wanted to give you an idea of a real life picture of what the system looks like, because now when you get into objects and creating classes for something that you don't see visually, I thought it might be a challenge, more especially when is object oriented, because object oriented is challenging when you are new to it, in such a way that it's not procedural coding. Procedural from top to bottom, you can just read the code through and jump to different function. But with object oriented programming, I can start with any screen in this screen. I can start from the login and create a login class and do whatever, and then when I'm done with that, I can jump to notification and create a notification class. So as you can see that object oriented, it's clean coding. Also, I can maybe ask somebody else to be busy with this module contacts while I'm busy with something else. So if I can jump into classes and coding without giving you an idea of a mental image visually what the class is expected to do, you might struggle. But now if you've seen the interface and you've got an idea of what this class might do,